Andy Byron. He's with HR head, and they got caught on.
Everyone's talking about the CEO caught on kiss cam at a Coldplay concert.
Chris Martin is a little rat and a snake, and Coldplay is the worst band in human history.
What starts as a Coldplay concert ends in chaos for tech CEO Andy Byron. A kiss cam, a mysterious woman, and now a rumored $35 million divorce bombshell. What really went down in that VIP section? Stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe for the full breakdown. Picture this, a Coldplay concert. Lights flickering like stars, 60,000 people swaying in unison, and Chris Martin singing Fix You. The mood? Magical. Then, the Jumbotron lights up. The kiss cam, couples laugh, cheer, wave. Then, it lands on two familiar faces. Andy Byron, CEO of a billion-dollar tech company, and Kristen Kitt, his company's HR director. At first, the crowd cheers, but then Kristen reaches up and runs her fingers through Andy's hair. He smiles, he leans in, and just like that, the entire atmosphere shifts. Phones go up, whispers start. Someone nearby mutters, "Wait, isn't he married?" That split second, a simple concert moment, is about to cost Andy everything. Let's rewind a bit. Andy and Megan Byron were Silicon Valley royalty. Think private jets, magazine covers, family portraits on yachts, and captions about leadership, love, and legacy. Andy wasn't just a CEO. He was the CEO people looked up to. Thoughtful LinkedIn posts, conference keynotes about empathy. The man was a brand. And Megan, she was the perfect counterpart. Former startup exec, turned wellness entrepreneur, turned philanthropy icon. She hosted fundraisers, ran a family app, and always appeared at Andy's side with 3 perfectly dressed kids. To the outside world, they were the couple you'd hate to love. Glossy, graceful, goals. But clearly, not everything golden shines forever. Enter Kristen Kitt. She wasn't just a mystery date or an anonymous +1. She was the head of human resources at Astronomer, the company Andy founded and led. Her job? To build a strong, fair workplace culture. The one who's supposed to protect employees, enforce values, and ensure, well, no scandals like this ever happen. That's what made this moment even more shocking, because this wasn't just 2 colleagues making a bad call. This was a complete collapse of the image they sold to investors, employees, and the world. Inclusive leadership, ethical decisions, people-first culture, gone in a few seconds on a Jumbotron. The video hit social media within minutes. First Twitter, then TikTok, then Reddit. And the internet did what it does best: pause, zoom in, slow it down, and investigate. People identified their VIP seats, spotted Kristen's bracelet, cross-referenced it with old Instagram posts. Someone found receipts showing the $800 VIP tickets, billed to the company credit card. Then came hotel check-ins, Uber logs, all linked, all pointing in one direction. This wasn't a one-time situation, it was a pattern. And it was now out in the open. A Reddit thread titled "Kiss Cam Scandal, Timeline and Receipts" hit 10,000 comments in under 12 hours. And just like that, it wasn't just trending, it was a full-blown digital manhunt. While the internet exploded, Megan Byron said nothing. No Instagram posts, no interviews, no statements, just pure silence. But then, something happened. Her Instagram name changed, from Megan Byron to Meg Carry-On. She unfollowed Andy. All their couple photos vanished. Their anniversary posts, gone. She archived everything from the past 2 years. Then quietly, she deactivated her profile. People noticed immediately. "She's not crying, she's rebranding," someone tweeted. "Queen energy," another said. But this wasn't a meltdown, it was a strategy. Because behind the silence, Megan was already several steps ahead. Turns out, Megan had known for months. Back in October, she hired a private investigator. Quietly, no confrontations, just receipts, surveillance, timeline building. While Andy was planning weekend getaways, Megan was collecting evidence. Emails, booking records, texts, even company expenses that didn't quite add up. When the kiss cam footage went viral, she wasn't blindsided. She was ready. It wasn't just personal betrayal, it was business. And Megan had done her homework. Her legal team was locked, loaded, and prepared to take everything to court. Meanwhile, Astronomer, the billion-dollar company at the center of all this, started scrambling. First, their people-first mission statement disappeared from the website. Then employees began leaking internal conversations, screenshots of Slack messages, whispered concerns, allegations that Kristen Kitt had pushed promotions for Andy's close friends without proper reviews. Over $2 million in raises and bonuses started to look Suspicious. Clients called with questions. Partners backed away. Stock dipped by 14% in a single day. And Kristen? Her LinkedIn disappeared. Her online footprint? Wiped clean. Reporters say she left her home in the middle of the night. No goodbyes, no trace. The HR crisis she was hired to prevent? She became the face of it. Then came the legal fallout. Sources close to Meghan say she's not just filing for divorce. She's going for a $35 million settlement. And that's just the starting point. Because this isn't just a breakup. It's an alleged case of misconduct, of misusing company resources, of breaking internal policies in ways that could bring major consequences. And if the allegations are proven true, that Kristen shared confidential HR data with Andy, or that funds were used for non-business purposes, there could be investigations beyond the divorce. This wasn't just messy, it was potentially industry-shaking. Once the video hit social media, it didn't just spread, it exploded. First came the memes, the now infamous shot of Andy mid-smirk, Kristen's hand in his hair. It was everywhere. Captions like, "When you expense your affair and still get caught on camera," or "This meeting could have been an HR violation." TikTok creators were unstoppable. Skits, reenactments, slow-motion lip syncs of the moment with dramatic music overlays. One went viral showing Kristen's hand in Andy's hair set to Celine Dion's "It's All Coming Back to Me Now," with dramatic swooping captions like, "Trust, broken." But the most unexpected part? Coldplay's own social media account started liking the memes. When a fan posted, "Fix You is about Meghan now," the band actually liked the comment. That single action became a whole new story. Blogs ran headlines like "Coldplay picks a side," and fan accounts dubbed it the "Fix You Fallout." Then came Spotify. Someone made a playlist titled "Songs to Divorce Your Cheating CEO Husband Too." The cover photo, a blurry screenshot of the kiss cam moment. The playlist, a savage mix of Beyoncé, Carrie Underwood, and Coldplay. In 3 days, it hit over 2 million followers. People weren't just reacting, they were participating. Social media turned the scandal into a global conversation and a form of collective storytelling. TikTok stitches featured therapists explaining betrayal trauma, lawyers analyzing the legal consequences, and employees venting about workplace ethics. But beneath all the jokes was something deeper, a kind of collective justice. Andy Byron had built his brand on values: empathy, integrity, transparency. And yet here he was, exposed by the very culture of openness and scrutiny he once championed. People weren't just mocking him, they were holding him accountable. As the online frenzy reached fever pitch, a more sobering reality began to settle in. 3 kids were caught in the middle of all this. Not just in theory, in real time. Imagine being a middle schooler and seeing your parents' private life turn into a TikTok trend. A classmate showing you a meme of your dad ducking behind a concert railing. Teachers trying not to comment, friends asking awkward questions. Sources close to the family said Meghan had kept the kids off social media. No public photos, no digital footprint. But now, their faces weren't online, but their pain was. And that's when the mood began to shift again. This wasn't just funny. This was messy, public, and painful, especially for children who had to go back to school while their family trended globally. Meanwhile, Andy wasn't taking it well. Friends say he's barely sleeping, he won't leave the house, keeps muttering, "One mistake. Just one mistake ruined everything." But people close to the situation aren't buying that, because it wasn't just one moment. It was months, maybe years, of decisions. It was misusing trust, both in his marriage and in his company. And now, he was facing the full consequences of both. He'd spent years shaping an identity, the thoughtful CEO, the visionary leader, the devoted family man. But the internet doesn't remember your best quotes. It remembers your worst moment, in HD, from 5 different angles. The once polished golden boy of Silicon Valley had become a living case study in what not to do. Even in his inner circle, people started distancing themselves. One former colleague said, he built his entire brand on being the nice guy CEO. But now, no one's returning his calls. And in maybe the harshest twist of all, someone leaked that even his own mother unfollowed him on Facebook. When your own mom hits the unfriend button, you know you've hit rock bottom. Just as the internet began to move on, just when the memes started slowing down, Meghan Byron played her final card. And it wasn't a petty move, it was powerful. Her legal team filed a case not just for divorce, but for everything. But here's where it got even more serious. Meghan's lawyers didn't just argue personal betrayal, they argued misconduct. At the corporate level, they claimed Andy used company funds for personal travel, dinners, Uber rides, and even concert tickets that had nothing to do with work. Each of those expenses was allegedly tagged as a business cost. And if that's true, it's not just unethical, it could be illegal. Kristen's role in all this? Also under scrutiny. As head of HR, she had access to confidential data. Sources claim she may have shared performance reviews, complaint histories, and even hiring decisions with Andy, giving him unfair insight into employees and internal power. If proven, these actions could trigger federal investigations, especially from regulatory agencies. Legal analysts are calling this one of the most high-stakes corporate divorce cases in Silicon Valley history, and not just because of the dollar amount, but because of what it could expose. Emails, Slack messages, travel records, credit card statements, it's all being subpoenaed. And Megan, she's not just asking for what she's owed, she's fighting to set a precedent. But here's the twist that no one expected. Her lawyers are reportedly preparing a claim on behalf of the kids, citing public emotional distress. Yes, they may argue that the viral nature of the scandal caused psychological harm, embarrassment, and long-term emotional consequences. If the court agrees, Andy's mistake might come with a financial cost far beyond $35 million. We're talking damages, additional penalties, and even potential loss of voting rights within the company he founded. This isn't just a divorce anymore. It's a corporate reckoning. So let's pull it all together. A CEO, a concert, a kiss cam, and one moment that flipped an empire upside down. But was it really just a moment? Or was that moment simply the spark, igniting something that had been simmering for a long, long time? Andy Byron spent years crafting the image of a compassionate leader, a devoted husband, a builder of ethical culture. He told people how to lead with heart, how to build trust, how to put people first. And then in front of 60,000 fans and the entire internet, that story unraveled. In a world where brand is everything, especially for tech leaders, Andy's reputation wasn't just bruised, it was erased. Meanwhile, Megan didn't scream, didn't tweet, didn't break down in front of cameras. She strategized, she planned, and when the moment was right, she delivered the most composed, most calculated response possible. She didn't burn it all down. She let the facts do that for her. So now we're left with a question. Was this justice? Or was it just the inevitable result of a carefully built life based more on perception than reality? And more importantly, how many other golden CEOs are one kiss away from the same collapse? Let me know what you think in the comments. Was Megan's silence more powerful than any statement? Or did the internet play a bigger role in holding Andy accountable? Either way, this won't be the last story like this. So hit that like button if you think actions always speak louder than words. And subscribe for more real drama, billion-dollar breakdowns, and the wild stories that prove truth will always trend.